Hello, family. It's Dawn with Dawn's Light. Thank you for tuning in to another Wow Wednesday, your weekly word of wisdom. So, your girl's tripping. I'm still dealing with this health issue, and actually, it's going to be going on probably for the rest of my life. It is a condition known as Chiari-1 malformation. That's Chiari. And it's not very rare, but a lot of people just don't really know about it. And it's something that you can't find or isn't usually found until something puts you in the hospital and they do MRIs or CT scans on your head and neck. And then oftentimes people are diagnosed with it. So I was diagnosed with that condition, and it answers a lot of questions for symptoms I've been having for a long time. But it also leaves me with a lot of questions on what in the world is next. What do I do now? What does this mean for the rest of my life? It is drastically impacting me on the daily. I am not back to work after a month, and that is very hard. I'm not able to do everything every day that I'm used to doing, and that's getting a little difficult. It brings into question, what will I be able to do? How hard will I be able to go? How much will I be able to get done? I don't know. I'm taking one day at a time. And I gotta be honest, because y'all know I can try to keep it real with y'all. I've gotten discouraged. I have. Some days are better than others, and I'm not completely discouraged, but oh my goodness, there are those days, because again, right now I'm facing what if, and what's going to happen, and what about tomorrow, and what about all the plans I had, and what about the things that I intended to do? What is my family going to do? You know, all those life questions that all of us have to deal with. And then when out of the blue, something knocks you off your feet, literally, and makes it a little hard to stand up, literally, your mind is surrounded with nothing but questions. So I am determined that I am going to finish out this year with my Wow Wednesdays. I'm so grateful that God gave me that to do, and I am doing it. Whether one person watches it, thank you, Mama, or hundreds, thousands, that'd be nice. But either way, I enjoy doing it, and I hope you enjoy tuning in. So, as with always, what got me this week? What was my wow moment? Because that's what I love to share with you guys. And it happened just today. Someone close to me, actually my director that I work for, actually shared this today. So thank you, Rhonda, because you prompted it. And it's out of Mark 16. So my question to help you think about this is, what happens when you run out of faith? Or do you run out of faith? What happens when your faith ends? The faith that you think you have. I was sharing with someone earlier in the week that, you know, I have been a faithful Christian for 22 years, and I actually thought I was a woman of faith. And yet, in this situation, with this type of test, I began to question. I got a little fearful about, really, where is my faith? What is it in? You can be believing and hoping and wishing and desiring all, great things. But when something actually puts an end, as far as you can see, to that thing, what do? Well, that's where our faith really comes into play and where it really kicks in. So again, in Mark 16, this is after the crucifixion. And while Jesus' followers, those close to him, truly did believe in him, they had faith that he was going to do amazing things, this kind of shows us where that faith may have gone for them, or where it really ended. I'll just pick it up at verse 1. When Sabbath was over, Mary Magdalene, Mary the mother of James, and Salome bought spices that they might go to anoint Jesus' body. Very early on the first day of the week, just after sunrise, they were on their way to the tomb, and they asked each other, "Who will roll the stone away from the entrance of the tomb?" Who will roll the stone away from the entrance of the tomb? You see, while Jesus was on earth, he had told them that he would die, but when he died, he would rise again, and he was going to, you know, bring about the kingdom. And yet here he goes and he dies, and his followers, many of them, most of them, scatter. And yet these lonely women, faithful, loyal women, are going on to the tomb to do what is the right thing to do, to bind his body, to anoint it, to prepare it for its long enduring encapsulation inside the tomb, as they would for anyone who had died. But where's their faith? Because he had told them that he would rise again, and yet they were going fully expecting to see this dead body and to anoint it. Do you think their faith was gone? Did they not remember that he said he would rise again? And yet they had absolutely no expectation that he would not still be in that tomb. The resurrection caught them by surprise, just like it will for all of us when we come to understand that Christ rose. And yet they were still carrying on doing the next right thing, the next good thing, still hoping and believing maybe, but thinking that, okay, now he's dead, trusting that he's going to do something. But to rise again, they didn't expect that. So who was going to roll away that stone? But it didn't stop them. They kept going on to that tomb. It was 3 women. How were they going to roll away this massive stone? And they didn't know who would be there to help them, and had no expectation that anyone would be there to help them. And yet they were going to continue to move forward. And like women, we can often do, we'll figure it out. We will figure it out. We just got to keep going. That is where I feel that I am right now. I don't know what's going to happen with my health concerns. I don't know what's going to happen with me financially. I don't know what's going to happen with my family, but I'm trusting God. I do know that just like when they got to that tomb, they didn't have to worry about that stone, because it said when they looked up, that stone, that very large stone, was rolled away. The stone in your life, it will be rolled away. You don't know how. You don't know when. And that's not up to us to even figure out. We just have to continue to trust God that he has a plan. And so I'm trying to get myself to that place where I realize that although I think the thing that I had planned, what I thought this would all look like, has come to an end in one way. But God's promises to me are still there. He still promises to bring me hope in the future. And I believe that he is going to enlarge and increase my territory. And he is going to make me successful in whatever way he intends for me to be successful. I just have to keep doing that next good thing. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm believing in Romans 8:28, as it says, that he works everything for the good of those who believe him and who love him and are called according to his purpose and his plan. I do believe, not just me, but you all too who know and profess to know him, that he who has called you is faithful to complete the work that he has began. So we've been called according to his plan and his purpose. It may not be looking like we had decided in our minds and hearts how it should look, but he is risen, and our dreams will continue to rise, and our plans, if we lay them before him and just continue to do the next good thing, God is going to show up and show out like he does in a miraculous way, and that stone will be rolled away. So I'm believing that. I hope you will too. Continue to walk with me in this. I'd appreciate having you come back next week for another Wow Wednesday. That little story was mine. There's so much meat in there. Dig in. Forgive me if I'm leaning. I feel like I am. It's part of the condition. So if I'm a little slanted on this video, that's why. I'd appreciate your continued prayers, your continued support. Look into the condition. You'd be surprised at how many people who suffer with various things like migraines and vertigo may actually be dealing with Chiari, and it hasn't been diagnosed yet. So I encourage you to look into that and talk with a doctor or your neurosurgeon or neurologist about having a CT and an MRI done to determine if that might be a condition you're dealing with or someone in your family. Better late than never to figure it out. And I hope for all of you that you will enjoy the coming holidays. And I look forward to another Well Wednesday. Bye-bye.